Good evening. This Town of Adams Board of Selectmen meeting Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023 is now in session. If you could all please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. That'll bring us to public comment. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to the board? Doesn't matter. I think you guys are both here for items that are on the agenda. So we'll move on. I skipped right over approval of minutes, so I apologize for that. We do have a set of minutes in front of us for Wednesday, July 19th. And I believe that it's just myself and Joe that can vote on them.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of Wednesday, July 19th, 2023, with a few minor corrections I'd like to have made.
Certainly. Please state the page number and paragraph.
Okay. On page number 2, at the bottom in bold print, designation of police chief authority assigned, and in bold print it says, Member Blanchard made a motion that the board to designate. I believe that 2 should be stricken from there.
Sure.
And let's see, just a few other minor things. On page 3, under July 10th storm rain update, it says the town of Adams in the process. I think should be added. The town of Adams is in a process of working with MEMA.
Is in a or the?
Is in the process.
Got
there
it.
should be a is after Adams.
Got it.
And I'll come back to what I thought should be a recommendation. Also on page 4, it states that $2.4 million of flood control work has been done. I think if it has been done, I believe it should be stated where the money was spent, and if I'm thinking properly, is that in the Valley Street area?
It's more than that. And we didn't specifically discuss location.
Correct. So we would not be able to add that to the minutes.
Okay. The next sentence below, MEMA, beginning with MEMA, the second line, it says work and it will be well over, instead of it will well over. Have you saw the correction, Madam Chair?
I have, yeah.
Okay. And I asked this question on the next one when it says FEMA, and it's written here, the town of Adams was awarded the grant, but the funds have not yet been released. And I asked that question, and I was told that we haven't got the grant because we haven't did the engineering study, so I'm just looking for a clarification on that
I believe
matter.
that the statement is correct, that we were awarded the grant, but the funds have not been released yet. That is what was discussed. So we were told that we were going to receive the funds. However, because the design is at 80%, we have yet to receive the funding because FEMA has to approve the final design before they release the funding.
Yeah, I remember
so that statement.
Okay, I remember that being the statement. Then I'm wondering why we're not in a quicker process to try to get that engineering plan done. And so that's where I'm going with that. And then in the same page, a little farther down, it says the town, let's see, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th line down. It says, in the meantime, if the town were to go out and do anything to the dam, I don't believe it's a dam, it should be perhaps culvert.
Okay.
Let's see, and I think that's it, but I'd like to note, there's another one. On page 5, it says Chief Kelly, that's down, let's see, it's the 1, 2, 3, it's the second paragraph in the title, beginning with Chief Kelly of Adams Police Department. It says, Chief Kelly stated that Officer Banks, who graduated, it should be from the academy and not just the academy.
Okay. And
another one is on page 5, Town Administrator Green heading, on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentence down, the beginning with the DPW was much large. It should be larger than it is now. And I have a question on this. 30 to 40 people at one time we had 30 or 40 people with significantly less responsibility. I personally think that there should be some clarification of less responsibility, because I believe back then when we had 30 or 40, if we ever did, that they were doing all of the street work. There were very few subcontractors. They had antiquated equipment. We didn't have so many high-paying positions, so the budget was able to incorporate those people into the fold. Because I worked for the town when I was a young man, and I never remember 30 or 40 people. So I just want to bring that up because personally, I think that's a hypothetical unless it can be brought to the forefront that there were 30 or 40 people at one time.
So
My
that was
statement
the
is accurate
statement.
as written.
I was
Okay?
going to say, the statement is correct, and if you wanted
For the
clarification, please meet with the town
For
administrator,
the
but we're not
purposes of
going
the
to debate it
minutes,
here.
that is the statement I made.
We're not going to debate it here.
Yep.
You can't.
That is the
Can't?
statement that you
Okay, I
made.
know we can't, all right. And that's all I have. And the last clarification I would like to have made is when we use acronyms for the first time, like MEMA, it should be printed what MEMA is, and then in parentheses after that, it should be, then you can use the acronym so people understand what it is. FEMA, Brussels Van Hagen, engineer. In other ones, SSFI, I don't even know what that is when it has to do with the inflow, the TSSS. I think it's solid something.
Total suspended solids.
Yeah, so that should be made, I think, for people reading the minutes, they understand those terms, and that's all I have.
Okay. So I have your motion with the amendments, the amended items, some grammatical items, one on page 2, one on page 3, 2 of them on page 4, 2 clerical errors on 5. So I will second that motion with those changes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And those that abstain?
Abstain.
2 abstentions. Okay, thank you. So that'll bring us to new business. Under item A, we do have a ratification of Eric Willett as a seasonal laborer for the Department of Public Works. In your packet, you'll see the letter from DPW Operations Supervisor Tim Coda to the Board of Selectmen. This letter is to advise the Board of Selectmen that Mr. Eric Willett has been selected for the position of seasonal laborer for the town of Adams. Mr. Willett comes to us with landscaping experience, specifically including lawn mowing, weed whacking, and tree trimming. Mr. Willett will be ratified at an hourly rate of $15 an hour. His anticipated start date is Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. What is the board's pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion to ratify Mr. Eric Willett as a seasonal laborer at an hourly rate of $15 an hour with a start date of Thursday, August 3rd, 2023.
Thank you. I have a motion by Howard. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by John. Any discussion?
Just one thing that I bring up, pending a physical examination if he has not had one.
Okay. I think that that's part of the hiring process.
It
So,
is.
Yep. Okay.
Should be
Excellent. Thank you for
stated.
the note. So you're asking for Howard and John to rescind their motion and amend it?
If they would like.
Okay. Howard, would you like to rescind your motion and amend it as Mr. Novak has indicated?
We've never done anything like that before.
You don't need to. We won't hire somebody unless they pass all of the hiring requirements.
Okay. So I don't see any need to
Okay.
amend.
He's not going to start without a physical. I don't even know if he's had his physical. Do you know, Bree? So the anticipated start date is Thursday, August 3rd. Not going to start unless he's medically cleared to start, consistent with everything else. We will go back to previous language. When I used to draft these, that includes that language in there, so the matter doesn't come up again, which I think there was a sentence in there that said, anticipated start date is such and such, as long as all town hiring requirements were met, or something to that effect. That used to be in the letter that I did. We'll make sure that that gets back in here to address the concern.
Okay, great. All right. So I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed or an abstention? Okay. That motion is unanimous. All right, Mr. Shepley, we have you under item B to review and approve updates to the Cemetery Commission rules and regulations. I know the Cemetery Commission has been busy trying to modernize language and get rates to where they should be.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. We, in the process of reviewing all the language and fees, there was an oversight picked up after the approval recently of the increases, and the perpetual care of a cremation lot had not been addressed. It was kept at $100. The board is recommending that be increased to $300 for perpetual care for a cremation lot, and that would be consistent with the fee established for a regular single lot.
And I'm going to stop you there so the board is following along. It is the Town of Adams Cemetery Division Prices Effective July 12, 2023 document. And Mr. Shepley is indicating, he's talking about the chart at the bottom, that second column in. Well, I guess it's the third column in, under perpetual care, and it is highlighted under cremation lot. I just wanted to make sure everybody had that, because there's a second handout, so I just wanted to distinguish between the two.
Okay.
Thanks.
The second part is under rules and regulations on the cemetery, under 2.2, sentence 4 reads, if for some reason a delay in interment will cause unreasonable hardship or inconvenience, interment may be made on such days providing the interment is between 7:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. The fifth sentence reads, an additional fee will be added to the regular charge. Sentence 4 is related to the situation that during a town-recognized holiday or a Sunday that there might be a need. I can tell you from a historical perspective, there has not been, and that has not happened. But sentence 5, an additional fee will be added to the regular charges. That was not addressed in establishing a fee. So the board is recommending that a $500 fee be added to that regular charge. That would be consistent with the recent $500 charge added for late Saturday interments. And then finally, during the severe rain we had on a Monday 3 or 4 weeks ago.
July 10th.
July 10th, thank you. I received a call asking what we could do about, the DPW was expressing a desire to postpone an interment due to some extenuating circumstances caused by the heavy rain at the cemetery. As it turned out, there is no language in the contract or in the rules and regulations. So I met with Tim Coda, I met with a local funeral director, and myself. The funeral director said, you're the only town that doesn't have some language that allows that. It happens more on the family saying, look, we're not coming out, it's nor'easter or something, and maybe the work's already been done, maybe it hasn't. But we've come up with some language that reads, in the event of extenuating circumstances, severe weather, natural disaster, and unforeseen situations that might result in hardship, harm, or injury to individuals or damage to Town of Adams equipment or cemetery property, the Town of Adams reserves the right to postpone and reschedule the interments in the town cemeteries. So we are presenting these 3 items to you.
Okay. So to recap, you are asking the board to amend the cemetery rules and regulations to include an increase to the perpetual care cremation lot.
Yes.
$300.
Yes.
Adding language about the interment postponement.
Correct.
And then modifying its interments, so 2.2, the last sentence about additional charges will be applied for grave preparation done on Sunday and a Monday burial, adding the charge of $500.
Giving that sentence a value.
Yep.
Yes.
So those are the 3 changes to the
And
cemetery.
the
rules.
language, interment postponement language would be 7.2.
7.2, thank you.
I'll make that motion.
So a motion by John to accept these changes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Howard. Any discussion?
Yeah, just a few questions. First of all, thank you for what your commission's done, because I think it's time that we get in the manner of starting to look at our fees, which we are doing, and I think it's very important, because once you put something up quickly, it's a little more difficult for people to, understand and realize that they're paying more. Just a question, on perpetual care, a cremation lot, they're very small.
No, they're not. They
They go along with the regular
They are the
lot?
same size as a single lot.
They're the same size as a single lot. I didn't know that. They're the same size as
Yeah.
a single lot. Okay, so once a cremation takes place there, a casket can't be put in.
That's correct. They are
Okay.
designated. There's language already that addresses cremains being placed in a full interment lot.
Right.
Already, but
But hasn't some caskets been lowered and there's been a cremated body put atop?
that's correct, and there's language that addresses that.
Okay. And another thing that I was wondering, I still have a little problem with the time when 12 noon, any funeral that goes past 12 p.m. noon will be subject to a $500 surcharge. And to me, it's still arbitrary, because if somebody's in goodwill and it's like they're there till, 5 minutes after. well,
I'm not here to address that tonight.
Okay. you're not
That's
here to
that's a
address
done
it,
deal.
okay?
Because that's been
We
approved.
had that discussion a
Okay.
few weeks ago.
All right, and let's see. I had one other thing, and it's cannot remember it, so I'll stop there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So item C, we do have well, these were drafted by Jerry Garner, although they do have my name on them. The first one is an assignment of street number. It's map 115, parcel 4, from 49 to 51 Park Street to 49, moving it to 49 Park Street, Suite A, B, and C, and then 51 Park Street, Units A, B, C, D, E, and F. For the board's reference, this is the Jones Block. Now that it has been put back into service, we do have to assign numbers for the different areas of the building. So 49 Park Street, the Suite A, B, and C, as it's been explained to me, is the commercial space. And then 51 Park Street, Units A, B, C, D, E, and F are the apartments. And I should also note that the building is fully occupied, or will be, but there are agreements for all of those units. So this is per the Town of Adams Charter and Code of Laws, Section 13-1, numbering of buildings. The Board of Selectmen may order numbers to be affixed to or painted on the building on any public or private way in their discretion. The owner of every house shall comply with such order within 10 days thereafter. It's really for emergency management, for emergency purposes, that they all be assigned. So I do need a motion to change the current numbers to the proposed numbers.
I'll make a motion to change the current number 49 to 51 Park Street to the proposed number 49 Park Street / Suite A, B, and C, 51 Park Street, units A, B, C, D, E, and F.
I have a motion by Howard. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by John. Any discussion?
No, I would just like to, the first I heard of it, I'm very glad to see that those cubicles and apartment space have been rented. That's certainly good news. And once again, as the chairperson alluded to, it's very important that you have precise addresses so that if there's any type of emergency, medical, or any other such type, they know exactly where to go.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, that is unanimous. Great. And then the next item is also a matter of growth in town. This is a new house that has gone up on Burnett Street. So the Board of Selectmen is being asked to change the number of that lot. It was 0 Burnett Street to a house number of 3 Burnett Street. And again, under the Charter and Code Laws, Section 13-1.
I'll make a motion to change the current number from 0 Burnett Street to proposed number 3 Burnett Street, effective immediately.
Thank you, and I have a motion by Howard. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Excellent, that is unanimous. Thank you.
And that is a new residence.
Excellent. All good news. Good news. All right, that'll bring us to subcommittee and liaison reports. John?
I'm good.
Howard?
Yeah, I was at the Board of Health meeting today, and just the one issue that I want to just bring up is they want to resurrect the Solid Waste Advisory Board, so there's more of a disciplined decision-making in the direction of the transfer station. I just want to, Jay, do you have any comments on that, on the...
I do. The Solid Waste Advisory Board is more than the Board of Health. They don't have sole jurisdiction over that.
Okay.
Jurisdiction of the Solid Waste Advisory Board is this body, the Board of Selectmen, as administered by the Town Administrator's Office.
Okay.
Dr. Rhodes is aware of the fact that he has spoken to me about it.
Okay.
We are researching who is best to sit on that. The original construction of that body has been researched by myself with the town clerk, and the intent of the Select Board was to create that body for ad hoc, as-needed reasons. And in fact, I believe Member Driscoll of the Northern Berkshire Solid Waste Management District affirmed that when he was here presenting for the transfer station. So it doesn't deal with just the transfer station. Transfer station policies and regulations are created by this board, administered by the DPW, town staff. The inspections and waste ban compliance is within the purview of the Board of Health. That is, you can't throw textiles in, the food waste regs, all of the new stuff, all the stuff that's on that really small font sign, by the dumpster up there, that is the purview of the Board of Health. So the Solid Waste Advisory Committee will be maybe reconstituted sometime in the next year, once myself and the chair have an opportunity to discuss what the charge of them are going to be, and then some names will be gathered and presented to the Select Board to be repopulated. And I don't think they're going to be handling anything more than maybe 3 specific tasks. One of which I can tell you is definitely the acceptance of brush at the transfer station. That's one topic. 2 and 3, I know that we had brainstormed, but I can't think of off the top of my head. So it's not really the Board of Health's prerogative to tell us that they want to create it. I also don't necessarily think that a member of that board is going to be on that, as we want to diversify the conversation. I think a person from the Board of Health can certainly participate in those meetings. They're going to be public anyway. But last time around, it was a member of Northern Berkshire Solid Waste Management District participated on the advisory committee. Then a member of the Board of Health, which I believe is Dr. Rhodes, participated in it. They can participate as advisory members to it. So I think we want to go a little wider.
Okay,
That's-
thank you for the
that's my quick
clarification.
update on it.
I am much clearer on that issue. Thank you.
Yes, we're aware of the fact that Dr. Rhodes has asked for it to be needed, but it's a function of the executive branch.
Very good. Thank you.
When was the last time that we had a board, a solid waste board?
I
Because
think
now we work with the county, right?
Solid Waste
Solid
Management
Waste
District.
Management
Yeah.
District.
Yes,
We have membership to that, and that's all taken care of there.
pretty much.
Any decision that this group would make, which we would still have the authority in the end anyways.
Correct.
So it's
Or a think
adding,
tank. It would be a think tank.
yeah, I'll wait till it's brought forward, if it is brought forward. I was just curious when it was in operation and the reason that it was dissolved.
I
No,
think,
the reason it was dissolved, my understanding, talking to Ed Driscoll about it, there was no more work for them to do. I believe the last time that they had met was probably joining or not joining maybe the Solid Waste Management District. Or actually reconfiguring, I think bringing the transfer station back online.
correct.
I think that was actually the last time they
Yes.
probably met.
So when we looked at it, I'm sorry, it was after we had Commissioner Driscoll here and John
Petrov.
Petroff, thank you. They came and they presented a couple of different things that, the board might want to look at. Jay and I did meet and looked at kind of when the last time the ad hoc group was put together. And again, as Jay's mentioned, it does have to be for specific purposes and specific goals. And I think it was early 2016 when they had finished their work on getting the transfer station to a point that we are now at, that they were assigned some of that work. So that's the last time that they have met. And there hasn't been an assignment since. But I know, Howard, you had mentioned a couple of things during that conversation, and so we did take some notes, and but we were looking at kind of what that body would be doing. And then we'll bring that to the full board for adoption and appointment.
Sounds like a plan to me.
So it wasn't lost.
Was it buried somewhere in that pile of garbage?
No, there are no piles of garbage.
It's on the to-do
But it's a
list.
nice pun. It's well done, Howard. Anything else under subcommittees?
No, thanks. No,
Okay,
that's-
Joe?
that's it.
I have nothing.
Okay. Under subcommittees, I did just want to mention, as the board knows, I do serve on the MMA board, and I do serve on the Mass Selectmen's Association board. Currently, both of those boards are looking for topics for workshops, whether it be for fall webinars or for the annual meeting in January, the in-person annual meeting. If you have some topics that you would like to see the MMA take up at either as a webinar or the in-person annual meeting in January, please send them my way, and I'm happy to get them in front of those different boards. All right, announcements and good of the order. I do have a couple, so I'll start. I have tomorrow, Coffee in the Court, 7:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning. That is sponsored by the Northern Berkshire United Way, and a reminder that those happen every 3 weeks. So hopefully folks could join us. That is open to the public. For the board, a scheduling item. Next Friday, August 11th at 11 a.m., there's a ribbon cutting scheduled with Indica. That is located at 127 Columbia Street. And as a reminder to our businesses and also to the board, those are driven by the business themselves, who reach out and ask for the board to conduct a ribbon cutting. So if you are in conversations with businesses that are starting up and they're looking for a ribbon cutting, please have them contact Bree to get that on our schedule. And then I just have a couple of thank yous. A thank you to the Adams Street Fair Committee and to Mother Nature for giving us a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in town. It was really well attended, and I thank all of the board members here for attending. At least, that was well received by the Street Fair Committee, and they thanked me they thanked me for having all of you there, but I appreciate that. I want to thank, I know the chief is here for a different matter, but I want to thank the Adams Police Department for another successful National Night Out last night. Again, a really great attendance. And I know that the chief is competitive and is hoping that that is the best one that was held in North Berkshire. And I would say that it is. I would actually say maybe even in the county or in the country. I love it. I love it. I love that confidence over there.
So it is.
But thank you. And then I want to thank the Adams Events Committee. They've been busy this summer. If you haven't caught a Tuesday night concert, I strongly suggest that you do. Those concerts are held at the Visitor Center at 6:30 every Tuesday night. It's a different band, and that'll continue for the rest of the month of August. Last night, the concert was moved to the Town Common. It didn't deter anybody. That was a really good crowd with a great band. So it was a fun evening in Adams last night with National Night Out, followed by a good concert. And the events committee isn't done. They've got a movie this Friday. They're showing Minions, The Rise of Gru. So that will start at dusk. And then I was asked to announce that the tag sale maps are available. They are on the town's website. They're also in the lobby here, I believe at the town clerk's office and a few other areas in town. There are 56 houses that are participating for Saturday, August 12th. So please get your map, and also just make sure that you're careful on the roads. I think those are all of the announcements I was asked to make. So with that, John, do you have anything?
Nothing to add. Covered everything. Very
Sorry.
well.
Okay, thank you.
Very good.
Howard?
Nothing for me?
Okay, Joe?
Yeah, just
Sure.
a couple of things. Since the chief's here, I enjoyed being there yesterday, and the important thing that I saw that translates into a good future is the number of children that were there, because those are the people that have to look at the policemen in the future and understand that they're friends. And I think your police force did a great job down there. You gave them a lot of different opportunities, and I thank you for that. I thought that went very well yesterday.
Thank you, Joe. You just explained part of what National Night is about.
Yep. And a few other things I already mentioned. The street fair was excellent, and I think, once again, they did a great job, and those type of events bring a community together, and that's an important part of America and all small communities, when you get an event in your town and you get all the townspeople together, because there's conversations and things happen there that we might not even know about. And two other things I saw, and I was happy, Jay, that you got a hold of the people that are taking care of the solar panels down at the landfill. I know John and I have been pretty much harping on that for quite a long time, and I hope that we can finally get a firm agreement so we know who's supposed to do when and when they're supposed to do it. So I thank you for that, and also the Airport Road, thank you for getting back to me on that also. And I just want to say that we have to be very careful and not just pick and choose which streets that aren't accepted town streets that we do work on. So if we're doing work on any of them now, we're going to have to look closely to make sure that we're not putting any favoritism toward one or not another. So that's just a suggestion. I don't know how we stand with what, roads that we're still plowing or maintaining that aren't, town accepted roads. So that's all that I have.
Thank you. All right. And then I'll just announce that our next meeting is going to be 2 weeks from today. Is that the 16th?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Wednesday, August 16th?
The voice from the
At
back.
6 p.m. Thank you, Peter. I was going off
Yes.
of the top of my head, which could be scary, so I appreciate the confirmation.
He was right on that, too.
He was. I love it.
Coming back from vacation that day.
All right. Good reason, good reason. But there are no scheduled meetings for next week, so just keep that in mind for Wednesday, August 16th at 2 p.m., or 6 p.m. Oh my gosh, I've lost my mind today. All right.
Madam Chair, I just thought of
Yeah.
one other thing, and I'll do it quickly.
Sure.
I know that, Jay, you met with the plant manager of Specialty Minerals.
Yes.
And when I spoke to him, he was hoping that he could come in front of the board and, you know, so on a televised, so he could talk to people and know that he's on the agenda, because he seems like an individual that wants to know the problems and ways that he can solve them. So I would just hope, even if it's maybe in a workshop setting, to have him in here and to, you know, because Specialty Minerals is certainly an important industry in our community, but with that industry comes, you know, inevitable problems, and I think that it would be nice if he could come down and speak to us about it, and thank you for going to see him. He's a very good person, I thought.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time. I appreciate you making the connection. It's nice now, just as soon as you have a phone number or an email, it just takes down a whole bunch of walls. And we discussed coming in front of the board, and we were trying to, you know, choose probably a good time in the fall when we feel most people will be at home,
Okay.
you know, to do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we are going to go into executive session. And it does say it here on your agenda for reason 3, and I'll take a motion for that in a moment. But I do want to note that we will come out of executive session, and we do have an agenda item. So,
Can you state what that,
yes?
okay.
Okay. So the executive session would be for reason number 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares. We'll be reviewing the Massachusetts Coalition of Police contract, so the Mass Cops Local 367 contract, and pending that conversation, we will come out of executive session and most likely approve the Massachusetts Coalition of Police Mass Cops Local 367 contract.
Thank you.
I have asked Chief Kelly to attend the executive session, but once we go into executive session, that would be it. But I do need a motion, and it is a roll call.
Make a motion to go into executive session for reason number 3 as discussed by the chairperson.
I'll second.
Second, roll call vote, Joe?
Yes?
Howard?
Yes.
I'm a yes, and John?
Yes.
Okay, we are currently in executive session.